I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good Wednesday morning, Brahmins. We are halfway through the week. So remember, here at main campus, we are on the con schedule. Always throws us off a little bit, but just be prepared for those bells to ring. I want to follow up on a conversation we had yesterday. For those of you that got to watch announcements, it was pretty serious. It was a little bit more serious than it has been. We all talked about the need to make sure that we are being very safe and following the school rules, especially when it applies to wearing our badges, as well as not opening gates for anyone. So sophomores, a lot of you probably missed the announcement yesterday because you were testing. We had a conversation about you are not to open gates. I know a lot of students don't want to walk around the back of the school in order to access the gate at the office, especially when you park in the south lot over by the football field, but that's what we have to do. The office is able to verify that that student is supposed to be here during that period, and it's just one of our safety measures. So remember, when people are standing at gates wanting you to let them in, just keep walking. You don't even have to acknowledge them. They know what to do. It's been the same procedures for years. On top of that, when you get to the office, Miss Anuez is going to ask you, do you have your badge? And if you don't, we're going to put in a policy, much like freshman campus, starting next week, where you're going to have to come in and check out a temporary badge. We're going to crack down on students not wearing badges and IDs. There's just too many of us. We have over 1,300 students here on main campus, and that does not include our freshmen that come over for different periods. So dig out your IDs. If you don't have one, if I remember right, ours are $5 as well through Miss Sherlock. Send her an email and she can help with that, but make sure you have the money, because if not, it gets added to your fines and fees, and that can rack up. So there's again Miss Norman's PSA about gates and safety. Dr. Hurst?
All I've got this morning is for teachers. Please take your daily attendance per period. Ms. Diefendorf just sent me an email of a 17-page attendance report of teachers not putting in attendance, and I really need you to put that in because it helps us eliminate possible students who have not been in attendance. So that's all I have this morning. So please take attendance every period. Thanks.
So, freshmen, let's talk a little bit about this fines and fees that Ms. Norman keeps referencing here. What is this? Well, fines and fees is a way in Skyward that we track when you have something that you need to pay for. So, let's say, for example, you didn't turn in your Chromebook last year when you were at the end of the year in 8th grade. Well, you probably have a $300 cost sitting there in your fines and fees. And so, how does that affect you immediately? Homecoming dance. You're going to want to go. And so anytime any of the things that are extra come up, homecoming dance, parking, other events that are extra, that you have to purchase a ticket or something for, then we're going to check your fines and fees, and you're going to have to settle up those fines and fees. So why am I telling you this? Well, if you have a Chromebook sitting at home from last year, it probably isn't working because they all got kind of messed up over the summer when they changed our emails. So it's probably A, not working, B, is not going to work until the district does something with it, which C, isn't going to happen until you bring it in. So if you have one sitting at home from 8th grade. Bring it in. That way we can get that off your fines and fees. If you lose your ID, we're going to give you lunch detention after a couple times, and then we're going to make you get another one. And if you don't have $5, we're going to put that on your fines and fees. So at some point, you're going to pay for it. So find your Chromebooks if you didn't turn them in last year. Bring them back. We'll be nice. We'll get them to the middle schools for you. Take that off your fines and fees. And find your ID if you have already lost it. If you're leaving them on shuttle buses, leaving them at the high school, we'll get them back, maybe at some point. But put this in your backpack at the end of the day. Like, you're not needing it overnight and you're bringing your backpack the next day. Find a pocket, put it in your backpack. You'll have it with you. That's the easiest thing to do. Or put it with your phone, because I know you don't leave those at home. So either one is a great way to get it here every day. Mrs. Kidd?
Students, I know that you have heard by now that it's very important to check your emails. And I know freshmen that this is not a habit yet, but please start checking your emails. In particular, our freshman governing board, you have a meeting tomorrow after school in Mrs. Devane's room. That's room 109 from 2 o'clock to 2:30. So again, please check that email for more information. That's all I have.
All right, guys, the last thing that I am going to leave all of you with is a little message for our people that park over at what is, I have heard, being referred to as the new Okeechobee dirt track. It's our parking lot across the street. It is a very fitting title for that area because with all this rain, that field is soggy, and even those of us that are driving very safely and slowly, it's getting real messy out there. So for those of you that park over there, just please be careful. Again, Deputy Feldman is out there every afternoon watching to ensure that we are exiting that lot safely. It is not a place to drive silly. You wouldn't do that on main campus. That is an extension of our campus. So be careful because it is muddy. If your spot seems to be extra damp and muddy, then you need to come see one of us so that we can see how we can help you with that. Hopefully it will dry out soon and we'll be back to normal over there. But all right, Brahmins, we are going to make it a great one as together we
Move forward.
Be great.
And be Brahmins
all day.